in order to create the Haas delay, it's pretty simple. You just need a very short delay to play with and a mono signal, and you can create fake stereo width quite easily. So this is how I would do it. I've imported a bass part in, and I've monoed it, and we're going to send part of it to a bus. And we're going to get a delay that's a very short one. So the logic short delay is basically the sample delay. And the sample delay measures in milliseconds and samples, samples being the smallest granular measurement of the sound in most DAWs. So, I mean, if you look at milliseconds, we are looking at making a very, very short delay here. So it's probably going to be only like 1 or 2 milliseconds around that sort of area. So let's send that into there. And here's the thing. You're going to have to pan this delay differently to the dry signal. So the dry signal gets sent out through the left, and the sample delay is going to get sent out through the right. And initially, I just want to demonstrate to you what this Haas effect is. If I was to alt-click on both of these just to make sure that they're all at 0, and I play this back now, when I introduce the delay, it immediately sounds like it's over on the left hand side. Okay, so why is that happening? It's basically because the brain is hardwired to sense that the initial transient, the earliest transient it hears, is the direction that the sound is coming from. So even though those two signals are exactly the same volume, it just so happens that the transient is earlier on the raw sound, of course, because the other sound is actually delayed. So we can play with that. We know that we can create a sense of separation, and our ears will hear that. So the next stage in actually using that tool to create fake stereo is to change the level of playback of the right hand signal in order to kind of re-equalize the sound. Okay, so I'm going to select a delay of let's say 3 milliseconds. But now I'm going to actually turn up the right hand channel, or rather I'll turn down the left hand channel. And of course, because this is an aux, we actually want to use a pre-fade setting, because if we just turn down this channel, it'll actually pull down the whole level of what's being sent to bus 1 as 2 and 2. So we select pre-fade, and that means that when I turn this down, we'll still get the delay coming through. And I'm just going to change the level of this on playback until it sort of sounds like it's in the middle. So what you can hear now is that it just sounds very separate, as though there are almost like two basses playing very tightly together. And so that's it, instant stereo width. And the more the delay happens, the more you get a sense of stereo width. But we're working in very, very small numbers here, and the smaller the number, the more subtle and realistic that sense of stereo is going to be. So I would say, you know, stick around this sort of area for most realism. And that's it.